Hey everyone, I'm Andy and welcome to another episode of Easy Tiki Drinks. That would drove me nuts. Anyway, today on the channel we're going to be taking a look at a Don the Beachcomber classic, the Test Pilot. In fact, the Test Pilot is pretty complicated, so we're going to be simplifying it so that it's easier, because I don't want to spend 20 minutes making a drink. So anyway, figured I'd share it with you guys. Let's do this. So today on the channel, we're going to be taking a look at the Test Pilot, which is a Don the Beachcomber classic cocktail from 1941. And in fact, it's a classic Don the Beachcomber flavor profile. It's got a blend of rums, Falernum, Angostura bitters, and absinthe, or Pernod, or Herb Saint, depending upon who you ask. Anyway, let's get to looking at what we're going to need to make this cocktail. First, we're going to need an aged Jamaican rum, a lightly aged rum, orange liqueur, Falernum, and lime juice. The aged Jamaican rum that I'm using is Smith & Cross. The lightly aged rum is Plantation 3-Star. The orange liqueur is Cointreau. The Falernum is John D. Taylor Velvet Falernum. And the lime juice is fresh squeezed. So the original recipe for the Test Pilot calls for aged Jamaican rum, light rum, Cointreau, Falernum, lime juice, Angostura bitters, and Pernod. As you may notice, we're short a few things. That's okay. It's a 7-ingredient cocktail with some rare ingredients that you may not have, or expensive ingredients. So I wanted to try to simplify it and make it a little bit easier to make. So what ingredients did I leave out, and why did I leave them out? Well, I took that inspiration from a template that was already created. We have the Don the Beachcomber original 1934 zombie. And then in the early 2000s, Jeff the Beach Bum Berry created a simplified version of that. He basically took the essence of the zombie, rebalanced it a slight tiny bit, and then took out everything that was basically a 1/4 ounce or less. So because of that, I did the same exact thing with the Test Pilot. So I dropped the Pernod and I dropped the Angostura bitters. Now, Angostura bitters may be something that you have in your cabinet, but it may not be. And it's not used in every single cocktail. And if you're not making I'm sorry, I can't speak today. It's what happens when you have a cocktail before shooting, especially if you're not doing pre-prohibition cocktails. The other thing that I dropped was the Pernod, which is an anise liqueur. It could also be substituted for Herb Saint or absinthe. I typically like to use absinthe, but it's also expensive, and so I wanted to exclude that. So anyway, let's get to making this and then we can talk about it a little bit more. First, we're gonna need an ounce of lime juice. Half an ounce of Falernum. Half an ounce of our orange liqueur, our Cointreau. Three-quarters of an ounce of our lightly aged rum. And 1.5 ounces of our aged Jamaican rum. Next, we're gonna add ice to our shaker and whip shake for about 5 to 8 seconds. Grab our double rocks glass and open pour right into it. For a garnish, we're going to go with a skewered cocktail cherry and our straw. And there you have it, the Simplified Jet Pilot. Let's give it a try. It's an assertive cocktail. Now, for those of you with prying eyes may notice that the original test pilot recipe calls for half an ounce of lime juice. I bumped my recipe up to an ounce of lime juice to overcompensate for the lack of the Pernod and the Angostura bitters. Plus, I'm using an overproof aged Jamaican rum, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't overpowering. And honestly, there's a lot of liquor in here with very little juice. And typically we like to see a 50-50 balance, if not shifted more towards the spirit side. Speaking of other spirits in this cocktail, I'm using the John D. Taylor Velvet Falernum, which is alcoholic. It does have a proof to it. It's a low proof, it's 22 proof, but it still does have some alcohol to it. Another reason why I bumped up the lime juice to an ounce. Now, Falernum can be hard to find, and I hesitate putting it in a cocktail. However, there is a commercially available one from BJ Reynolds, which I will post an affiliate link below if you want to pick up your own. It's non-alcoholic, it's just a syrup, and if that's the case, you may want to dial back your lime juice to maybe 3/4 of an ounce or the original half an ounce. But it's all personal preference. Again, with an overproof Jamaican rum, I wanted a little bit more citrus to help balance it out. It's got those classic Don the Beachcomber flavors. It's tart, it's acidic. The orange actually really shines through in here, and the clove from the Falernum really shines. The funk from the Jamaican rum comes through just a little bit, and the lightly aged rum is literally there just to lengthen out the alcohol so that it's not all just super funk. Overall, it's a great cocktail. I love this simplified version because it's super easy to make. Now, another version, if you don't have Falernum at home, just drop the Falernum. It's not going to be as complex as this version, but it'll still be pretty good, I promise. Anyway, there you have it, the test pilot, the simplified version of Don the Beachcomber's classic from 1941. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, click that notification bell so that you know when I drop new videos, which are typically every Monday and Tuesday, and then shorts on Thursday. So anyway, please make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at EasyTikiDrinks, and until next time, take it easy.